Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Miss Jody, would you please introduce yourself and thank you for coming on my show?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm Jodie Potter. I'm the writer of Asmodeus. Yeah, and thanks for having me on the show.
You're very
Alex, are you going
welcome.
to introduce yourself, or do you want me to give you an introduction?
No, I think I'll say so. I'm Alex Hurd, and I'm the director of Asmodeus, working with Jody.
Wow, welcome. And what can you tell about us about yourself, the audience?
Do you want to go
Oh,
first? Do you want
Jody.
me to go first? Okay. Yeah, so I've been acting since I was a child. Always loved telling stories, just loved performing. And then I kind of moved into writing and I wrote a couple of short films, one being Lullaby, the next one, It Didn't Stick. And then I concentrated all of my efforts throughout lockdown on writing Asmodeus. And that's me.
That's an awesome story. And
Thank you.
what attracted you to become an actress? Was it did you see
Uh,
it on TV? Were you inspired by someone or by a
I
movie?
think, yeah, okay. I think the honest answer would be that as a child, I was really
Mhm.
creative and I just I loved playing different characters. And I always loved, I actually used to love pretending that I was a witch. So it was either I was going to be a witch or an actor. And yeah, I found it really interesting kind of taking on different personalities. And I used to binge watch TV shows all the time. And I just loved it when I saw an actor and they were being creative and they were being in the moment. And I really believed it. And I loved shouting at the telly, like, no, 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 you can't do that. And it made me really passionate about it. And yeah, it just kind of grew from there. And I had some great acting teachers along the way, studied at university, got a degree. But yeah, I think one actress I've always really followed is Carrie Mulligan.
Mhm.
So she did A Promising Young Woman. Don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen A
I've seen
Promising Young
it, I
Woman?
think, once.
Love A Promising Young Woman. It's like the best thing ever. Um, but yeah, she won Best Actress, Best Female Lead. But I like her in her early career too. I watched an Education. And it's very much a coming of age kind of drama. And her in that, she just blew me away. Like everything draws you into her, and she's just incredible to watch. So yeah.
Amazing.
Anyway, I
That's
go
amazing
on.
story background.
I go on and on and on.
No, it's okay. Mr. Alex, tell
Yeah.
the audience about you and your background and your career.
Yeah. So my background isn't really necessarily creative. I suppose you could call it creative. So I did engineering, and I was always interested in that in school. And I did an engineering degree, not necessarily intending to go into the film world. And I started, repairing audio equipment and stuff. I was always into audio, let me just say, from a really young age. So my father used to call me Golden Ears, because I was always picking up on sounds and stuff like that, and I was mimicking sounds. And my mother and father had this really old. This is going to show my age now, actually, but
Mhm.
this big reel-to-reel machine, which we used to record our voices on when we were kids. And when I was, I think about 6 or 7, I used to just get the tape player and just record stuff on it, like me hitting the table or something like that, and just play it back. And I was so fascinated with the process of doing this, that it actually kind of got me into the sound, and I started playing musical instruments and stuff. Anyway, so I ended up kind of falling into working as a sound recordist down the line, and while working in studios, as a mixer and sound designer and stuff. and then also a sound recordist out on location, and which I suppose I've been doing for I don't know, about 20 odd years, I suppose, a little over 20 years. Lost count, to be honest with you. And I've done it. I started sort of late actually doing a little bit of directing just for kind of commercial stuff. And I directed my own film, but that's going to remain under wraps. That was a long time ago. Didn't quite work out. And I just kind of the reason I'm on this project is Jodi and I had this kind of serendipitous meeting on probably Instagram, actually, where I was looking for an actress to act and sing in a commercial. She said, "Well, I don't know, I can't sing." But anyway, we had a little bit of a conversation over the thing anyway, and I said, "Oh, by the way, I imagine you playing someone in something I'm writing. I've optioned a book which I'm writing at the moment. I'm writing a screenplay for the book." And I said, "Oh yeah, you could be this character called Meg in this thing. I still want to do it down the line, but that's a way away." And she said, "Oh, by the way, I've been writing something as well called Asmodeus. Do you want to read it?" And so I said, yeah, absolutely, that'd be great, because we hadn't seen each other for, I don't know, about 7 years or so. Is that right, Jodi?
Yeah, it was 7 years. We met on the set of another film, didn't we? But it was years ago.
We kind of kept in touch. Well, I say we kept in touch. We didn't really keep in touch, but we kind of followed each other on
each other's
Facebook
lives,
and Instagram. And so I kind of knew what she was up to, and maybe she knew what I was up to. I don't know, but
I did.
and so she just sent me the script over, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. And Jodi had put so much work into it, so much thought, and it flowed really well. And I read it really quickly, which is always a good sign. So I just whipped through it, and I thought, oh, this is amazing. And she said, well, I'm looking for someone to produce and direct it. And because I always have this thing in the back of my mind. My dad's used to say to me, do something that scares you every day. And I sort of said to Jodi, well, you know what, I'll direct it if you'll have me. What do you think? I'd like to direct it. What do you think? So, we had a few more chats, and we had a lunch together and a few more chats about the project. And so she bravely trusted me to do that. And that's one of the reasons, I suppose, where we're at now. But really, it started off with this amazing script, which I totally got as well. It said a lot to me, and which really helps. You know what I mean? I wasn't forcing myself.
Can I just say as well? So I sent it to Alex, and I was a little bit, I was kind of thinking, I wonder what. Well, yeah, I was keen to see what his thought was, and what I loved about Alex was he read it that night, and the very next day he wanted to meet up and wanted to discuss it, and we both met, and all of a sudden I very, very quickly realized we were on the same page, and his creative vision was very similar to my creative vision, and we've worked together now. It's not actually that long, is it? It must be 7 months.
Yeah, it was. We first messaged in April of this year, straight after I'd just come off a feature film, and so I was just relaxing and taking it easy after 5 weeks of business.
And then I came along. It's like no more relaxing for you.
Yes, straight into the frying pan. So, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, I mean, so it's not been that long, has it? But Jodi said, because we definitely clicked, and we were on the same page from a really early start point. And there was nothing forced. It just, and I think that's probably why we've sort of come to where we are with quite a lot of rapidity. It just seems to work.
I call it like a dream team. So like Alex will be doing something. Alex will, like the first day of the shoot, where I'm the writer, obviously I have like oh, it's my little baby. And I'd notice little things and I'd think, oh, and then 2 seconds later, Alex would pick up on that exact thing. And I'd be like, oh, it just works. We're really, really fortunate that it just works. It clicks. So yeah, thank you, Alex. It clicks.
That's a wonderful. It's a wonderful story background for both of you. So both of you, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I
Do you
think
want me
you
to
go.
go first? For me, as long as I um, I want to be happy. I'm happy now. I like being happy. um, I just want to make good work. I've got family as well. I just want to make good work. If we could get this made and we could get funding and it could go on TV, on like channels, that would be a dream come true. However, I yeah, I'm buzzing just to be making it. I'm so happy. And yeah, I'm really passionate about what we do and I'm loving every second of it. So in 5 years' time, as long as somebody looks at my work and they go, do you know what? She's an all right writer. And do you know what? She's a good actor. And do you know what? She creates good stuff. I'll be really happy.
That's amazing.
And as long as all my family and all my friends and everything are well and all the other stuff. But
Right.
yeah, family first, but everything else as well.
I understand. Totally, totally. How about you, Mr. Alex?
Yeah. Well, no, absolutely. I mean, family, family first. For me, I've well, I've always worked in the film industry now, and mostly, apart from a few years.
Hmm.
So to me, it's it. Well, I mean, on a really basic level, it's my income. So
Right.
it's the way that I kind of earn my money. So obviously, I want to make it sustainable in whatever way I do it. I love being a sound recordist. I'm still a sound recordist. That's my primary kind of income and sound
Hmm.
designer as well. So of course, I think I want to keep that on. But I tell you what, I didn't quite expect this to come along at this point. So I had done a bit of directing before, and I must say, I've been on lots of films, so I've seen directors do their craft, and so I suppose I've seen what sort of resonates with me, and maybe what doesn't resonate, and those sort of different techniques and stuff. So I suppose subconsciously I'm sort of bringing that hopefully to the table, and I I really. I really would love to get this made into a series and hopefully be the director of that series and have as many people on board that we've got now, actually, because I think we've got a fantastic team.
Oh yeah, the
Um,
cast and crew are amazing, aren't they? And Alex is like he's not one to big himself up. He is an incredible director. It's just a dream to work with him. He's fantastic. So yeah,
being
it all works really nicely. We don't want to change anything. It all works.
Yeah, that's
I,
wonderful. That is wonderful.
I suppose it's that sort of it sometimes feels like magic, and that's a really wonderful thing to happen in life because it doesn't always happen that often. And
Right.
sometimes we struggle, and we with self-doubt and all those kind of things that lots of people do struggle with, and try and
Hmm.
work things out, what's the best thing to do in the future and stuff. I mean, I try and sort of live in the present as much as possible, and hopefully the effort that we put in will lead to something bigger. We do want to get this made, and for from my point of view, I would love to. I'd find it difficult to give up my sound design and sound recording job, but to be honest, I could imagine just directing this for the next few years if we had the funding and we could make it. I would love to do that. It would it'd fill me with joy. It'd be a great life achievement for me.
You never
Um,
know. You never know, though.
yeah, you never know. We're
Well,
working
that's
so
it. I
hard to
mean,
do that.
I think we absolutely live and breathe it every day, don't we, Alex?
Hmm.
Like we're on the phone constantly to one another, and it's a case of like I wake up. Obviously, yes, of course. So first of all, I think of my family, but then the next thing on my mind is Asmodeus, and like, oh, what if we tried this, or oh, and we need to do that, and it, yeah, it's just lovely, and it's really nice because when we're together and when we're on set, it feels like really, we're both quite good at allowing each other to be spontaneous and creative and come up with things in the moment, and some working relationships don't allow you to do that, and you feel a bit stifled. Whereas when we're working together, that doesn't happen. And yeah, I wrote it back in 2019, and it's a 6-episode series. And yeah, like Alex said, mirroring Alex, I just want to make the full series. We've got so much more to give.
Right.
I mean, I'll just say, it's entirely possible. As I say, I've seen it happen, loads of times. People come up with an idea and they really believe in it, and it happens. That's the only reason why series happens, because someone's written it first of all, and then they believe in it and they get a team together, and some people want to fund it. So we're just going to work hard to make it the best that we can make it, and see if people want to come on board, And
Well, I can't wait to see how far this project goes.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm so excited for both of you. Now, what is the greatest strength for Miss Jodi as yourself being an actress?
I'm so sorry, I didn't hear the question.
What is the greatest strength for you as being a film director, Mr. Alex? And it doesn't matter who goes first. One of you can go.
You go first, Alex, because I'm not sure I heard the question right.
Well, for me, I think honestly, because I'm kind of old enough to know a bit more about myself, which is quite nice. It's one of the few advantages of getting older, is to feel a little bit wiser about yourself. And I feel like I have quite a nice balance between my left brain and my right brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think you need that as a director. You need to balance the kind of logical right brain, logical left brain, and that kind of that side of it, and the more kind of technical side with the right brain, which is the creative side. So I mean, as a director, that does need to be fairly in balance, I would say. And I feel I do feel quite confident I can do that, which is actually a really nice feeling, because often I still get imposter syndrome. I think we all do. Everybody on film shoots gets this thing called imposter syndrome, which you've probably heard of plenty of times, and it's not just in the film world. It could be any industry. And I can turn up on a feature film, and I just feel like everybody else knows exactly what they're doing, and I'm haven't a clue. But you just get on with it, don't you? And I suppose that was what worried me a lot about being director, not having a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel pretty comfortable, and I think it's that left brain and right brain balance that I have. I don't know why, because I'm really strongly left-handed, so my right brain should be quite strong. But yeah, that's my. But I think that's my strength, and also I'm a sound recordist, so I'm a good listener. So I'm actually I don't like speaking too much. I like to listen more, and hopefully, so that kind of fosters a bit of creativity in the camp, and allows people to kind of do their own thing. So yeah, that's how I feel anyway about my strengths.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing.
That's cool.
How about you?
How about you?
Is it strengths that we've got?
Yes. What's your greatest strength as being an actress?
Oh, I think for me, I like to be in the moment. I can do all the prep work. I can, I can go away and, look at the character, revise the character, do all those different things. But for me, I like to focus on the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And react to what they're given to me, but react in a way that is, completely free, completely impulsive, and just concentrate on what's happening now. I found like I went through a stage about 5-6 years ago, and I thought when I was a child, I used to find this so easy, like acting.
Mm-hmm.
I used to just get up and do it. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I went through this phase of thinking like, oh God, oh, she's got to be sad now, or oh, she's probably really angry in this bit. And do you know what happened? Is it made it in those scenes, you could see that I was trying like too hard. It's like, you know, when you watch somebody and you're like, oh, you're just trying to feel that. You're just trying to be angry, or you're just trying to be sad, or you're trying to make yourself cry. When actually, when you get out of your own head and you just focus in on being in the moment and actually concentrating on what the other person's saying and then reacting to it, then that's real, or
Right.
as close to real as you can be as an actor. You know, it's yeah. I think I had it right when I was really, really young, like as a child. I think I went through like a little bit of a wobble about 6 years ago, when I kind of, I came out of uni and I loved my time at uni. And I studied all the practitioners, I studied Brecht, I studied Stanislavski, I did all the work. And then for some reason, I seemed to kind of get caught up in my own head and a bit like,
Hmm.
oh, she's got to be angry and I've got to try all this different stuff. And how am I going to get the tears? Am I going to pinch myself? When actually, when I was a child, it was fine. And do you
Right.
know what? As soon as I've decided I'm not, I need to know all that stuff. I'm not discrediting it. It's really good stuff to know, and it does help a load of actors. But for me, just be in the moment, live it, breathe it, feel it, and do all the basics: the what, the why, the when, the how. Why am I here? What am I doing? All of that stuff. So yeah.
That's true. That's true. 100%. So both of you, do you guys have any funny stories behind the scenes on set? Anything that kind of made it fun and made people laugh or
Shall I say about the wine gums? Can I tell
Oh
them about the wine gums?
yeah.
So Alex, being the lovely director that he is, on our first day shooting, we were at a really, really lovely Cotswold house, beautiful Matara Centre. Actually, if anybody wants to know, it's just lovely. It's a wedding venue, and we got our catering from, what were they called, Alex? Catering company?
Lovely place called Truffle and Thyme.
Truffle and Thyme. It was all very lovely. And me, I'm proper Swindon girl, and was a bit nervous of eating anything before performing. So, all this lovely food was there. And I see this pack of wine gums. Now, I love wine gums. And I was like, oh, it's like wine gums. I kept on taking all these wine gums. And I went past Alex and I went, all that food is really lovely. I said, but do you know what I've really, really liked? Thinking we've spent quite a bit of money on the catering. That £1 bag of wine gums, that was the one that I really liked. I was like, I like those wine gums. So yeah, you can take me out of Swindon, but I still want my wine gums. And
So
yeah.
I think I said, Jodi, you're a cheap date, really. Um, and,
Pack of wine gums.
yeah, so that's the actor's rider, a pack of wine gums.
wow, that is so
You can
amazing.
deal with
I
that.
what's your favorite memory so far on set?
Alex? I,
Hmm. I'm not copping out, and I will think of something, but it's hard because there's been so many lovely little moments, like tiny moments they're not big, but there's just I can sort of put a little pin in lots of things and say and just remember it all. But I'll think of something. I think Jodi looks like she wants to say something.
might have one. I think I might have one. Sorry, I get really excited and a bit buzzy. It's just in the
That's
way.
okay.
I really liked. So we were really fortunate. One of Alex's friends actually allowed us to borrow his Ferrari, and uh, when I first saw this Ferrari, I was like, "Ooh!" But I don't really know anything about cars. But Gemma, who plays Madeline, she just loved it, and she got in the car and she was like, "So can I drive it?" And you saw this man's face like, "Ooh." And she was like, but
Oh,
she was
no.
revving this Ferrari, and for me, I could just see like she was absolutely buzzing, living her best life. And I was sat next to her in this Ferrari, and I was like, yeah, this doesn't happen every day. This is pretty cool.
So she got to drive it?
No, no, I'd be lying if I said she got to drive it.
This is the magic of film. So the owner drove the car, but we make it look like they're driving it, of course.
Looks like she drives the car, and she got to rev it. She got to rev it.
I know it goes fast in real life, by the way. I heard. I've never been.
Yeah, well, because she was into it all. She was like, oh, do you know what the horsepower is, Jodi? And I was like, no, but I can't even remember what she said. But I wish she was on here to tell us. But do you know?
I know the answer to that.
Okay, there we go.
About 750 bhp.
That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's seriously fast. F8 Tributo it was. So very expensive, very noisy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we needed the bling for.
That's it. Because it is very much, it's a glamorous drama. It's a glamorous crime drama. And lots of the wealth is kind of superficial. And there's a lot of crime in it. But when we first started speaking, that was another lovely thing about working with Alex, was when I showed him the script and I was talking about it, I was kind of thinking here, and he kind of lifted it up. He was like, you know what, we're going to have to get a really nice car. And I was like, oh, kind of doing it. And he was like, we're going to have a Ferrari. I was like, oh. And he was like, when we went to location, he was like, yeah, this is the location. I was like, wow, just, yeah.
Amazing.
Took my idea and kind of made it bigger. It was lovely.
I think the trouble is, because I've worked on some big budget or bigger budget stuff. You can't. It's like, once you've driven that level, it's hard to drive that level.
Right.
So I was thinking, well, to make it worth making, we want to push the production value as much as possible. There are things that are impossible to do, but if you think about stuff carefully and plan it out and have a lot of luck as well, then it is possible. But
we have been so lucky, haven't we, with a lot of stuff. Like we've had amazing. A lot of favors.
Pardon me, was it all filmed in England, or did you guys go outside of the country and film somewhere else as well, or?
No, all filmed in England. We are, one of the things we're kind of tagging this film with a little bit is we tag it with Southwest Film, which kind of trumpets filming in the southwest of England. Now, a lot of filming happens in the kind of London area, southeast, but there's also some fantastic productions that happen in the southwest, many of which I'm sure probably ended up in the States as well, like things like Poldark, perhaps. I don't know if you've had Poldark over there on the channels. That's a kind of quintessentially English TV series. Downton Abbey.
We may have. I'm sorry. We may have Poldark. I know we have. I know BBC is very popular here in the United States. So if we do have Poldark, I've seen it, but I probably have not paid much attention to it.
Yeah, I mean, one of my memories, actually, my good memories from shooting as Amadeus was we were there. We were in the house. And over the way, in the other stable part of the house, the BBC were filming a drama. So we were there at the same time. So there's the BBC with their big budget and us with our tiny crew, small budget and stuff. And a guy that I knew who was first AD, he was walking across the lawn and we saw each other. And I'd worked with him a little while ago on a feature film. And he said, I said, what are you doing here? And he said, what are you doing here? So, because he knows me as a sound recordist. And so I said, well, I'm directing this film that we're doing. And it was just really nice moment. And it showed how sort of tight-knit the film community is in the UK. Often our paths crossed, and that was one of the occasions. I didn't expect that to happen, but
right.
And so that's another. The BBC were filming a nice kind of I say a nice.
What it was they were. Well, I can't remember what it was they were filming now, but yeah.
It's about a crime-fighting nun.
So. Oh yes, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's why we saw the nun go across the field, wasn't it? But that was it. We were in the big house, and we were like, oh my gosh, the BBC, and they're just like to the side,
Yeah, it was.
like on the gardens.
Right.
But yeah, just touching on, obviously, when I wrote it, what I liked about it is it can have longevity. It can be picked up and it can be taken anywhere. Like you can take the game that the players play, the criminal kind of game, to a different country. So there's lots of opportunity for series to go on and on and on, because the game can happen anywhere. But what I really liked is that, like Alex said, for a long time, film and TV had been kind of a London thing, and you had to move to London or you had to live in London. And Bristol is now fantastic, and I live in Swindon. And you know what? Actually, I think Southwest film we should kind of make. It doesn't matter where you are; you can still create good work.
Mm.
Um, and actually, we've got loads of locations down here. We've got loads of good actors down here. We've got loads of good directors. We've got loads of good crew down here.
It's
So
kind of like the United States here now that used to be
Yeah.
Los Angeles, but now it's everywhere. You got film industry growing in Arizona, New Mexico, Kansas, all the way to the east.
yes,
Oh,
It's
really?
growing. Yeah,
yes,
it
and
really
that's
is
it.
growing. And you know, the one thing it's about is um I personally believe it was because of the pandemic that did it. And
Mhm.
you know, the pandemic, everybody had to stop, and all the film directors and actors and everybody didn't know what to do. And then they decided, you know, let's make our own film in our own state where we are.
Mhm.
But you still can go to Hollywood. You can still go to New York now this day. So I think that's why it's the film industry is growing wherever you are. And you know, England is
Yeah,
growing, and Switzerland is growing, and Norway is really growing. And now you
Mhm.
just fly to other countries or other places to be in the film and go back home. So
Mhm.
it's music to my ears, and it makes me so happy because it's just like there isn't just stories in one part of the world or in one
right.
part of a certain country. Like actually, to get a whole idea of everything,
Hmm.
then yeah, you need that whole picture, don't you? So that's amazing that that's
That's
happening. Because
true.
I always heard from the
100%.
States, it was always like, oh, you're going to go to LA, and like, is that where you're going to go to like make yourself a name?
Right.
And
Dude, that's so
yeah,
true.
yeah, that's
So do
great.
you see both of you, especially Alex more, but do you see yourself potentially making maybe coming to the States, making a film, maybe a small budget
In the States.
film in
Oh,
England as well, both places?
well, I mean, I must say, when I'm a judge on a film festival actually, and I watched a film from the States recently, a feature film, um, and I think I'm fascinated with all the kind of the cultural things. This was filmed in a very small town. That was the idea of the film. So we got that kind of small town America feeling. And I don't know what it is, but everything that they filmed just looks amazing. It has a sorry, I mean not necessarily looks amazing, but has a certain feeling about it. And I must say, it does make me kind of think, yeah, I would love to film in the States because everything from a kind of a rundown gas station with a kind of neon sign that's half working, to the local store, the general grocery store with like a wood slatted front with a veranda. We don't get that sort of stuff in over here, but in America, it feels like it's part of your culture, it's part of your architecture, and I find it fascinating. Um, that's a long way of saying, yeah, I would be quite interested. I don't know what the unions would say about that. So, but yeah, that would be fantastic. I'd love doing that because I've been to the States a few times. To to the West Coast, to the Rockies, to Arizona, Florida, but never to New York. I need to go to New York at some
Wow, you
stage.
just skipped New York.
Yeah, definitely. I've skipped it so far. I've just got to happen. And and also up north to maybe New England and Maine and places like
Hmm.
that. Yeah, maybe I should aim to shoot a film in somewhere in New England or something like that. Yeah, I love the places, love the architecture, love the countryside, the whole. I don't know, the road signs, the lights, the traffic lights. It's all so interesting. So
Right, that's true.
yeah,
And definitely should come to the States and make some film out here. Um, the traffic lights in England is different than the States. That's correct, right?
yeah.
I
But
don't,
then
yeah, I don't
the
know.
it's just I don't know what it is. It's just the way things are made and designed. It has for me everything that has a unique culture in the States that differentiates a scene
Hmm.
from somewhere in England. When you fill out those forms online, sometimes you have to do the capture things where you click on a square that has traffic lights in it, and generally it's scenes from the US, I guess, because it's a US company. So you're clicking on American traffic lights. And so, you just kind of notice it, or a fire hydrant. I mean, we don't get fire hydrants over here, not ones that stick out of the ground anyway.
Oh, that's true.
um, so I really like the States because it's so diverse as well. I find it fascinating. So yeah, I mean that's a really roundabout way, isn't it, of saying if an opportunity came along, it'd be
Then
fantastic.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
I think I better shut
Giving
up
anything away, both of you, what is your favorite dialogue?
What ever? Favorite dialogue ever?
Yes.
Mm,
The films that
I
you've
quite like
worked,
that.
the films that you've been in, or the film that you're working on now, without getting anything away that will get the audience's attention. What's your favorite dialogue line?
Mm. Well, it's really got me thinking because oh, Alex, I think it's the Madeline line. Um, that if you want, oh, am I allowed to say it or not? You don't want me to give it. I've kind of lost what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do.
Hold on a minute.
Um,
Hold on. Let me just can I just check with the lawyers a sec?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
Is it okay? Yeah, like so Madeline has this quite powerful line at one point when she says, if you want to live a life you've never lived, you have to do things you've never done. And it kind of like hits with a bit of a punch.
Wow, that is a powerful line.
Yeah,
As
it
written by Jodi Potter.
thank you. And directed by Alex Hard. So dream team. But yeah, so it that one kind of throws a punch. It's like if you want to
Wow,
live a life
that
you've
that
never
one is
lived,
that one's really
yeah,
good. That
yeah, you
was
have
really
to do
good.
things you've never done.
Mhm.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
That's
good one.
amazing. How about you, Alex?
Well, I suppose maybe you've taken that line. I was going to do a line from a film that I worked on. Actually, I did the post production on it. It's called "Eliminate Archie Cookson." It's like kind of spy thriller, and so you've got this very gentleman kind of haphazard spy. He's not really that good, but he's a real English gent, and he's having an affair with a woman who's trying to kill him. He doesn't know this, but and he says to the woman, he said, "Would you?" In a kind of very English way. I'm not an actor, okay, by the way. So, but I'll do this. So he's like, would you like?" And he's sort of like stumbling a bit. Would you like to go to dinner with me? And the woman says, "No." just like that. And then he replies and says, no, no. You know, and it you'd have to see it because I'm a terrible actor, but
that
it's
feels
just,
really Hugh Grant.
it was kind of like a combination, really. I mean, to be honest, it was the acting. I mean, the script was great. It was the combination of the script and the way it was delivered, and I presume maybe the directing as well. You know, that made that, and it just stuck with me all the time. So occasionally, if I say no to something, I'll go no, no, like that. It's stupid, I know, but yeah,
I think I've heard you do that.
yeah. You
I
probably.
think I've heard you do that now. I think I've heard you go, no.
Oh my god, yeah. So I tend to go no, no.
I know what that's from now.
Makes an
That's
impression.
so interesting. That's so good.
It's these tiny moments, you know, in life that make a big impression on you, I
It
think.
is kind of interesting that you if you're a director or an actor or not, you work these films or TV shows and you memorize a line. And then what's so interesting is you memorize it so good that you can say it in public now. And when you go to like other film sets, you just like Alex says like no, no, and you're like, wait, I heard that before.
I have heard this. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then everybody's like, oh, okay, Alex, now we got it. And like people think about it. That's
well,
very good.
it's nice because you kind of I look on that and I think, oh my god, you know, that was talent. You know, the person who wrote the script, the people who deliver the dialogue, the director. You know, it's just a bunch of talent there, and it's really inspiring and makes you want to do better. So,
True.
you know,
So,
so
Alex, if you could make a film if there was no budget, what is your dream film that you would like to make?
my dream film. Oh, well, I mean, in terms of genre,
It could be any genre.
it is what we're doing. I love drama. Drama, especially a drama thriller, is my all-time favorite genre. Of all the films that I've enjoyed in the past, even films that kind of cross the genres over. So, say a horror film, um, but you know, if it's got an element of thriller in it, you know, I'm there. You know, especially psychological as well. I like the human condition explored, and I find that I've always found that quite fascinating. Probably because I like listening to other people, and so anything that examines the way humans would act, especially if you know, the audience can relate to it to a certain extent. Because I'm always thinking, you know, how you know, how the audience is going to perceive what we're doing. You know, are they going to maybe appreciate it or maybe be shocked by it as well? You know, I want it to be sometimes off the wall. I like strong characters that are slightly unpredictable, because it kind of drags you in. It's that kind of, I suppose, a slight sort of love-hate relationship with the characters. And so I've kind of forgotten the question now, but I've
No,
got
it's okay. You answered the question. You really did.
I kind of answered it, I suppose. Yeah.
A little bit away from the film. Is there anything that nobody knows about you? Do you guys have any hidden talents or something that nobody like I know you like to sing, dance, or anything, any hidden talents that nobody knows about you guys?
I don't know about talents that nobody knows. You know, I do sing and play musical instruments and stuff, but I mean, people know that. That's although I keep fairly quiet about it. So, but I don't think I've got any. I don't have any kind of secret. I wish I could say I tell you something. Hold on, I'm just trying to learn this. Um, so this is called contact juggling. So I'm going to muck this up now, but I'll try. So the idea is the ball remains in contact with your body all the time. Okay, so let me just do this. This is real basic. So you know, whoa, I can't even do it. It's been a while. So
I
you
was
kind of
impressed. That's
start
pretty
there.
cool.
So if I just You just catch it on your hand, and then you just flip it over.
Nice.
Oh,
But I've only just started, and I started this during lockdown. And eventually I'll be able to run it around the back and all around. So
that is
hopefully,
impressive.
next time we speak, I can show you a bit more of that.
Yes,
That's really
Alex.
cool.
We're definitely we'll have you back on I'll have you back on my show and you can show me your talents.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that. I saw it at the Edinburgh Festival one year, and this guy was doing this. That's a practice ball. He had a clear ball, and it's just magical. The ball's constantly moving. It looks like it's floating, but it's always in contact with his body. And I do like movement and physicality and stuff. So one day, so yeah,
That was so cool. That was really, really
Wow,
cool.
basic man. Okay, how about you, Jodi?
amazing. How about you, Miss Jodi?
Um, I can climb door frames. I'm not going to show you, but I can actually climb door frames. So, so my party trick would be that somebody would come round, and I'm just sat at the top of the door, and then I just like drop into the room, like because why not? So yeah, so I can climb door frames, but it used to be like it was a lot easier when I was younger because you're a lot smaller and like yeah, now I just feel like it's uncomfortable, but it's fine. But yeah,
Wow,
I guess I can climb door frames.
impressive.
Okay, I've got a job for you next film shoot on Friday.
On Friday, I'm climbing the door frame. Yeah, get stuck. Call the ambulance.
Wow.
Call the ambulance. She's trying to climb the door frame.
So, what is the number one thing that people should see in England?
Sorry.
What's the number one thing that people should see in England?
Ooh, what film wise or like
Film
TV
or
shows?
being a tourist or
Ah, ooh, I don't know because I kind of I have things that I like and I just watch them over and over again. Um, mm, Alex, what would you suggest?
Well, I'm going to go. Well, as soon as we can say anything, I'm going to go with a place. Um, is that okay?
yeah.
But I think if people, and I think a lot of if Americans were to come over here anyway and go on the tourist trail, they normally come across the Cotswolds,
Yeah.
and it really is worth seeing if you happen to be in the UK. And it's quite a big area, but it's sort of what people sort of see as the kind of quintessential old English villages and stuff. So yeah, that to me, I love it. I love the houses. I love the countryside here. So I would recommend anybody coming over here to go and visit this area and take in the
Okay.
architecture and the history
Mhm.
and the countryside. So yeah, that would be my thing in terms of a place. So,
Yeah. I'm
And
so sorry.
also,
I thought you meant like film or TV. I'm so sorry. I misunderstood the question. The
no, it's okay,
Stone
that too,
Circle
but
is pretty
like,
impressive as well.
I was just kind
The
of curious
Avebury
what
Stone Circle is pretty impressive. So go and see that.
oh, Avebury, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
I was just kind of curious what you guys what like for myself who's never been to England, what people like me should go see, like where's the countryside
Ooh.
or go to London or go to um I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know much places about England, but I know the
Okay, I've got a question for you. What would you have you got anything in your mind that you would see if you came over here? So
if I ever well actually my dad's generation is from England, but
oh,
I want to come to England. I want to go to that famous I'm glad I have both of you because maybe you can help me out. Been in lots of the movies. Um
mhm.
it's been in medieval movies. The stones. Where's that stone in England? You know what I'm talking about? Is that England?
Are you
Oh,
talking about the stone circle?
I think
No, different stone.
Stonehenge.
Sorry.
Stonehenge. Stonehenge. Stonehenge.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know the name of it. I just know there's the
It's not too far from
circle
us. You
and it's
need to
like,
come and visit. Stonehenge is
do
not
you
too
know what
far
I'm
from us.
talking about? Please tell me.
I think so. I think you're talking about Stonehenge. And if so, it's not far from us. You need to come. And it's just, yeah, it's magical. It's amazing. It's like a wonder of the world. It's so cool. I
And I'm
think
just
that's what you're
curious,
talking about.
maybe you can answer, maybe not. How did it happen? How's it there?
Who
I
knows?
can tell you a bit actually. Yeah. So this is amazing. So Stonehenge is made up of two different types of stone. So there's the biggest stones. If you have a look at a picture of it, you see these huge stones with the big stones on top. You know, they're sarsen stones, and they came from fairly nearby. I'd say about they say I think it's about 1 to 2 miles away. But imagine way back then, hauling these stones across the ground and then lifting them up into position. So they're the Starson stones, and they're pretty big. The smaller stones in the middle are called blue stones, and this is amazing. So these blue stones are from West Wales, from a place called the Preseli Hills in West Wales, which are, hold on a minute, I mean they're well over 100 miles away. Okay, so so there's various theories. No one knows exactly how those blue stones were brought to Stonehenge. Some people say they were brought on land, just on logs, so they were kind of pulled over logs.
Like a one after, yeah, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Some people say that there was a kind of I don't know, some sort of sledge. I'm not sure about that, but and the other theory, which is totally plausible, is actually they were brought around the coast of Wales on a raft. So the raft was made up of wood that displaced more water than the stones, and so they could bring the wood around, and then they would still have to cart it over land to Stonehenge. But to me, I mean, I just find that mind-boggling.
No, me
Wow.
too. But I always thought it was magic. So you've
No,
kind of ruined
it's
my.
very
I thought it was
interesting.
magic. Like,
Very interesting.
so
No,
they do
just
the
a
summer.
curious,
Is this the
but
summer solstice? It's there. Is it the summer
that's what I'd
solstice?
ask if that I didn't know where it was in England, but I was like, that's one place I want to go see.
It's not far
Southwest
from us,
England.
so we should
Yeah,
all get together if you come for a visit.
yeah. If you come over to the UK, give us a shout.
I
So
definitely will.
we'll hook up. So
It's so interesting because I watch a lot of medieval films like about King Arthur and all that
oh
stuff,
yeah.
and it's so interesting about England.
Oh yeah, we have actually not too far from us. There's an interesting abbey called Laycock Abbey, which is really really old, and again that would be used for kind of older films. I mean medieval's pretty old actually, so maybe that's not quite old enough, but it would certainly be used, if you're looking at older kings and queens and stuff like that. Well, it was used in the Harry Potter movie, the first Harry Potter movie,
Hmm.
for instance. So yeah, anything kind of like slightly fantastical, but it's real.
Right.
There's
England
real.
became popular because of Harry Potter films, by the way. That's why everyone loves England.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of places actually in England that were used for the Harry Potter movie, yeah, which kind of have that sort of, again, that quintessential English kind of feeling. I think because they originally they probably thought, well, we're going to make this and we need to sell it all over the world. That's what happens. So need to kind of make it attractive to other audiences.
Amazing. That's true. And then my last question is halloumi. You guys know what halloumi is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
love halloumi.
Okay, I'm sorry. We don't. Okay, so in the United States, we don't have halloumi. So
Oh, you're missing out. You're really
what
missing
it
out.
what okay, so both of you are looking at me weird. It's okay. So I talked to people here in the United States and I said, have you guys heard of halloumi? And they all look at me like I'm crazy and nuts. Like, what is a halloumi? And I said, that's a good question. Thank you. I just wanted to ask to make sure I was talking to the right crowd. So I mean,
Yeah, I love
actors and
halloumi. I had halloumi on
actresses.
barbecues. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
barbecued halloumi, really nice. Halloumi
So
in my salad.
um
Yummy.
what is I interviewed a lot of actors and actresses from England. They told me they have halloumi. And they tell me it's so good, like, delicious. And so my question is, what is a halloumi? What does it taste like?
And so it kind of tastes a little bit chewy, I would say. Chewy, but I don't know how to describe it. Really tasty, and it goes really well with like if you put it on the top of your burger or you put it on chicken. It tastes really nice. So yeah, Alex, what
I
do you
like
think?
well, I don't know. I liken it to a little bit like I mean, do you guys have mozzarella? You must have mozzarella over there.
Right, we do.
Kind of a little bit like that, isn't it? Really? That's a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's not so stringy though, but yes,
No, but
it's a
without the
cheese.
stringy, they're kind of yeah, a little bit more. I don't know. It's a little bit more. It's got a little bit more structure, hasn't it?
Yeah,
So
there's a bit more substance to it.
we normally
Vegetarians love it.
normally
Well,
fry it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I like it
fried
fried.
for a few minutes. Get some tomatoes, get some basil, get your halloumi. Yummy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you you lost me. I'm oblivious.
Can you not buy it in the States then? You can't
We
buy
don't
it.
have it in the States.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Yeah.
What?
Don't know
That's
why.
bizarre. I mean,
We
it's
need to make a campaign. Get you halloumi.
We don't,
because
I
I
don't,
mean, you've got loads of cows in the States.
yeah,
So
but we don't have, we don't know how we do it.
You've
We
got
don't
loads
have,
of cows.
we don't have halloumi. So if I've never seen a picture of a halloumi. I've never seen it in real life. I don't know what it looks
do
like.
you,
I don't
I
know
mean,
anything.
Kind of looks like it's kind of white-ish, creamish, and you
there
just
we go.
cut into.
Am
That
I
does
allowed to say
not
this?
sound so good to me. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it really does taste really nice. You'd like it. You would enjoy it. You would
Am I
enjoy it.
allowed to
So
show
when
this
you come
picture?
to England, you can come and have some halloumi. Oh, look, there we go, halloumi.
I don't know if you can see that, but
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, so it's like you can put, it's like
yeah,
like you can, it's like a bread or something?
No, it's a cheese. It's a
please.
cheese. It's a
Yeah,
cheese, and you put it. So if I was barbecuing and I had I, I was doing like a kebab stick. Instead, I'd put chicken, halloumi, and then maybe a tomato or some pepper,
yeah.
and it's really really yummy. So yeah,
It's like a not it's a Mediterranean cheese, isn't it? From
Uh,
yeah,
Cyprus, I
really
think.
nice.
It's
Interesting.
made out of it's like goat's cheese or sheep's cheese.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know where
Also,
it. Yeah.
sorry, I'm sorry, goats and sheep's milk, but also cow's milk, I think, as well. So,
I just had to ask because um I ask everybody who's comes on my show from England that what is a halloumi? And they just had to make sure I wasn't going crazy. It seems like it's really popular in England, but again, here in the States, we don't have that. We just have regular cheese. We don't have halloumi.
oh.
But I've never been to the States. Are your burgers as big as I kind of imagine your burgers to be? Because when I think of American burgers and like food, I just think of everything so big. Is the food big? Is it big? Am I
No,
going to get more dinner?
they're small.
Okay,
It's
okay.
nice. Now there are some burgers that um they I guess if you can finish it, it's like this big. So
Wow.
and if you finish it, you can. They just put it on the table. And there's some pizza that's like huge too, I believe. So
Wow. What's your biggest pizza? What's your biggest pizza?
I don't I don't know where it is in the United States. I think there was like a food competition or like a the restaurant was known for serving um big, huge pizza. I could be saying it wrong, I'm sorry, but the big, huge pizza they have, and
Mhm.
you can order it. I don't know, like there's a bunch of you can eat it, like the whole family can eat it, take half of it home.
You're making me hungry. I'm feeling quite hungry now. I'm like, I want to eat a great big pizza.
But pizza is really famous here in the United States because I think a lot of Americans love Italian food. So I know
Mhm.
go to like Chicago and New York, the East Coast, they have some really good Italian pizza. And I heard, and I could be wrong, but I've heard rumors that there's a lot of Italian chef that comes from England that come to live in the United States, and they make those really good pure Italian food and Italian pizza. So I know when you go to the Chicago airport, there's a pizza restaurant inside the airport. I can't think of a name of it, but it comes in a pretty big box, and you can fly on your international plane or domestic, and you can eat your pizza on the plane. But and I heard people that get the pizza. I heard the people that get the pizza, they eat it, and they're like, it tastes like Italian food. Like the pizza
Oh,
tastes like Italian.
Okay.
And then that's why a lot of people are like, wow. And then when you're not in the airport, I've heard that there's a lot of Italian pizza restaurant in Chicago and the East Coast. So
Right.
I've been
Yeah.
oh,
to the Chicago
nice.
airport and I've had that pizza and it does taste different. Um, does taste like Italian to me. So
Do
Mhm.
you cook? Can I ask, do you cook?
I do
Do you
cook.
cook?
I'm not good at it.
Okay, because I think I've even told Alex this. I found a little secret for my pasta. So I can buy really cheap pasta now. And then what I do is once I drain the pasta, I put a little lump of butter in it and I squeeze some lemon in it. And it tastes restaurant quality every single time. So just a tiny bit of butter and a tiny squeeze of lemon on your pasta. And yeah, it tastes like mwah,
All right. I'm
beautiful.
gonna try that.
So
Ah, beautiful. I need
yeah,
to
you
try
have to
that.
try it. Butter and lemon, and that way you can get away with buying cheap pasta, and it's just lovely. So yeah,
Okay.
it's all about the way you cook
I didn't know that. It really
it.
I, I need to. So, what is like the most popular food in England? What's the traditional food for England?
Oh,
Roast dinner,
I
roast
was going to
dinner,
say fish and
roast dinner.
chips, but
Oh yeah, no, of course. Sorry, yeah, of course.
um, I mean, do you know what I mean by fish and chips? It's like battered. It's battered fish, generally cod or haddock or something, and chips.
Wow.
That's it. So
And sometimes mushy peas, mushy peas.
oh, with mushy peas. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have
Well, no, I don't, but some people do. And if you're up north, they like to have gravy on it as well, don't they?
gravy
Yeah.
or curry
Okay.
Curry
sauce?
sauce, curry sauce. Did you just say
Wow.
curry sauce?
Yeah, chips and curry sauce.
Yeah.
But fish and chips is kind of. I mean, every town. I don't know if you know, but every town has got a fish and chip shop. So a takeaway where we can just go and get this, and it's wrapped in
Hmm.
paper. Used to be wrapped in newspaper. I mean, do you have fish and chip shops in the United States?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. Hmm. I can't imagine life without one.
Now,
I
now,
I don't
and
know.
then
Like you,
another thing, if you tell me, if anybody from England, ask us in the United States, do you have a pub? We'll look at you like, what is a pub? But if you say bar, then we know what that's.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
when someone first told me we have pub in England, I was like, I thought they were playing a joke on me. So I was like, what is a pub? And they thought I was crazy, and I said, I'm not crazy. I think you're crazy too. But what is it?" And they said that's where we go and drink and have fun. And I said,
Yeah.
oh, it's a
oh,
bar.
you mean a bar?
A
Like,
bar. Yeah,
oh
same
yeah.
kind of
And I'm
thing.
like, oh, okay. Now I know what you're
Well,
talking about. What is
see,
a
it
pub?
happens in reverse though, because I've got young children and they watch a lot of YouTube. and they like to watch people on YouTube. And so they'll come into me and they'll say, oh, I'm going to go into the backyard. And I'm like, we haven't got a backyard. I'm like, we've got a garden. And they're like, oh, mummy, can you put out the trash? I'm like, it's not trash. It's not trash. But because they listen to YouTube so much and like they're, it's all American, they kind of like, oh, I'm going in the backyard. I'm like, okay, we don't have one, but okay. So, yeah,
So what do you I'm so interesting about your England culture. Real quick, what do you say? What's the backyard? What's the back?
oh, so it's the garden. You play in the garden. You go and play in the garden. But they seem to, I don't know whether maybe it's not from America then, but they kept on calling it the backyard. They were going to go
Yeah,
out into their
we call
backyard.
it in the backyard. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, it's our garden. It's our garden. So, but my children will say, I'm off out into the backyard and and take the trash
Wow.
out instead of take the bins out. So, yeah.
Well, when I go to England, I think I'm gonna struggle because
Oh no, you won't. No,
I
you
think
won't. Everybody, no, no, not at all. Everybody's really lovely. You'll have a lovely time.
right. It's like well, my last question is when we say we need to go to the restroom, it's different in England, right?
Yeah, you could say you were going to the lavatory, or you could go to the toilet.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
yeah,
It's different. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't
Interesting.
ever say, I wouldn't say restroom. I
no,
mean, the thing is though, American culture is I'd say pretty familiar to us through American films and news and stuff. So if someone says to us, restroom, like we all know what it is.
yeah,
So yeah, because because the culture's I'd say it's quite it's popular and
Right.
it's in our psyche, isn't it? The American culture.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
When
Like
I
when they
watch
say backyard, I know what they mean. So
yeah,
yeah,
when I watch BBC, I like hear these words. I'm like, wait, what is this meaning? What's this? What they say? And I'm thinking, I don't know what they're saying. I just know they're doing it, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's what that means, or this is what that
right.
means. It's like now I know what the garden means. 'Cause I was watching BBC, and someone says, "I'm going to the garden," and I'm like, "There's no
yeah,
garden."
yeah,
They went out.
yeah.
I
The
was
children
like,
will play in the garden. Children play in the
right.
garden. But apart from my children who play in the backyard, so
Oh, okay.
I mean, the one thing I would say, just to finish off on that, there's a lot of houses in the UK which are called back to backs, and
Hmm.
they were built, because of the Industrial Revolution and the coal mining and stuff. So basically, it's a they're terraced houses, so they're all together. Maybe like two rooms downstairs, two rooms upstairs, pretty small. And well, I was going to say gardens, but actually, it is a yard because it's the back of the house didn't they wouldn't have had any plants really or lawn or anything. It was just a place to wash your clothes or you know there might be an outside toilet or something like that. So in that case, I think you might call that a backyard. Don't you think, Jody? Or
mm,
or would you still
maybe,
call it a
yeah,
garden?
maybe, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
maybe.
maybe.
I don't know. I always called ours a garden, but yeah, yeah, no, I see that.
I mean,
Okay.
garden is something that's maybe got some plants in it and a lawn, maybe.
Right,
We
Yeah,
have
that's what we
lawns in
think.
the UK.
yeah,
So,
Hmm.
yeah.
um, yeah. Anyway, there you go.
Well,
No,
that's
no, it's
amazing.
good.
I'm sorry. I was just
Yeah.
I just wanted to learn about England culture and I learned so much. That's so amazing. Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't feel embarrassed. I just want to know because it's like I didn't know what halloumi was. I didn't know what the garden was until I learned from both of you. And I was like, and
If it's true what you say, I think I'm going to give up film and try and sell halloumi into the States because I
you
think
need
I
to
can make
come
a
because I mean,
There's
if you
there's
come to the
definitely a
United
market
States,
for it, isn't
if
there?
you come to the United States and you find halloumi, you have to let me know because I even went to the store and I said, "Excuse me, sir or ma'am," and they said yes, and I said, "Um, do you have halloumi?" And they look at me and they said, "What is a halloumi?" And I said, never mind, it's okay, thank you. And that's when I know we don't have it. That's us.
Wow, that's really shocked me.
Yeah.
So
And that's another thing. You say store as well, and we'd normally say supermarket, wouldn't we? But do you say supermarket, or is it just the store?
We say store.
Store for like big shops, little
Hmm.
store. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. We say supermarket, so yeah,
Supermarket. Okay.
supermarket. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
crazy.
yeah. Um, yeah, from here, I think here in the United States, they can say it both ways. You can either say store or supermarket, but I think store is more popular wording.
I
Uh,
mean, we do have the small shops in local villages, and we call them, corner shop or something.
Corner shops, yeah, corner
That's the
shops.
smallest ones. I suppose the original ones from a long time ago.
Yeah, we don't have as many corner shops as we used to, do we anymore? They used
No,
to always be corner shops. Mm.
no. Sometimes they get shut down. A lot of the we've got a lot of pubs being shut down as well. Going back to the pub,
Yeah.
mhm.
because it's hard to make a business sometimes,
Right, right.
because people have got so many other things to do. A lot
Hmm.
of distractions like social media,
That's true.
watching,
That's true.
watching
By the way,
streaming.
you know that famous actress who used to work for the work for a pub, and she was in the Star Wars.
Oh,
No, which one?
Um, I can't think of her name.
I think I need to
She was in the Star Wars movie, and she worked with
English. Yeah.
yeah, what's her name? Um, can't think of her name.
Um,
I can't help you. I'm afraid I'm not very good with Star
She
Wars.
worked in the pub. She worked in the pub. Um,
Okay,
yeah.
and she's from England, by the way. And I
okay.
who lives
All
there in
right.
England, but she's a very young actress. Um, and she was in the Star Wars movie, and she was on the TV being interviewed, and they asked her, so is it true that you worked at a pub before you were on Star Wars, becoming
Right.
famous? And she said yes. And that pub,
What?
that I believe that the pub that she used to work for in England is very popular because everybody who went there, they're like, yeah, this,
Oh, they'll all go there because she's
yeah,
now.
and
Yeah.
a lot of the customers go there still this day, and they're like, yeah, she used to serve us and everything.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Um,
I've by the magic of Google, I found Daisy Ridley.
yes,
So yeah, it says here, yeah, she worked for 2 years as a bartender at two different pubs in London.
yeah,
Doesn't say
Daisy
what the pubs
Ridley.
were.
You should look. She's 30 years old, and she was born in England, and she she worked at a pub.
She's working in a pub. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, to be
Wow.
honest, that is the life of a lot of actors
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yeah.
UK, whilst they're trying to hone their craft.
Yeah, and I
Um,
heard that um I don't know if she I believe she I didn't know if she auditioned for the Star Wars or any I don't remember the whole story, and then she went for the Star Wars movie and came to the United States, and then bam, she became so popular, and now there she is, and
Wow.
nobody, like, when they interviewed her, they were like, so you they couldn't believe it. It's like, oh, you worked at a pub. And she was like, yeah, that was my job. Pub. Go to pub and work, and I don't know,
I mean, it's
don't
the
quote me if
ultimate.
this is
I
right,
mean,
but she says she may work late at night at a pub, and then that same day, that same night, you go straight to a film set. And she's like, that was her.
That is pretty much the norm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of people's stories would
So,
be
anyways, then
very
since you
similar.
mentioned the pub, I just wanted to say that's
Yeah.
one thing I want to say.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of the it's a lovely story, isn't it? You know, one day working in the pub, next day in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
it's a lot,
It,
you know, I know people love that story, and it also gives hope to all those
hmm.
actors, you know,
Right.
waiting tables and stuff and hoping for the big break, you know, hoping that this audition is going to be the one that, you
You
know,
never know. It could it
oh,
and also the word of mouth. The word of mouth. You know, you support each other. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're living in England or United States or Asia, it doesn't matter. We're all have the word of mouth. We're supporting each other.
mm,
Anything could happen, right? And you just automatically get that big role, and there you are.
yeah, yeah. I mean, half the battle is actually getting noticed in the first place, really. You know, there's so much talent around, but it's sort of saying, "Hey, I'm here. Please
Hmm.
notice me." You know, it's
Yeah,
really difficult. You know, but
that's true. I've interviewed an actor, Alan Osteen. He was in a 1975 Star Wars movie, and he lives in England.
who's
Okay.
that?
Alan Osteen.
Okay, oh, I lost him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the 1975 Star Wars movie. He's been on my show. So he lives in England right now.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, I do. I love the 1970s Star Wars films. Yeah. So
amazing. Well, thank you for both of you for being on my show. We talked about all kinds of stuff, but I learned so much. I'm so excited for both of your film. And when you come back on, I'd love to hear more about it. And then also if you buy Halloumi when you come back on my show, please show me what it looks like because I
I
don't.
don't I don't think I'll ever be able to buy halloumi without thinking of you now. Like,
yeah,
Yes,
same
please
here.
do. I mean, because real quick, let me grab a pen. Is it like a roll that you buy and it's like this, and then you just cut it?
no, it's like flat, isn't it? It's like
Well, you can you can buy it
yeah,
like that, can't you? Cut it out and stuff,
it's
Okay,
like a
I'm
block of
sorry. You
cheese.
you have to next time when I have you back. I'm sorry. You think I'm crazy. I know I'm not, but I have to see what it looks like. I mean, it just. I mean,
Next time you have us
of
back,
it.
I'll
I
get some
understand, but I
halloumi
didn't
and
know
I'll be
what
like,
like
there.
the package. What does it do? Like, what does it look like? I mean, maybe
we'll
the package,
we'll eat human.
maybe
I think,
the package. Maybe we have it in the United States, and maybe it's not called halloumi. Maybe something else. So,
Yeah, no, that's what, yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe
it
it's just
kind of
not called
looks
halloumi.
like it does look like a packet of cheese, but it's very different to, cheddar cheese or, you know.
okay, we do have cheddar cheese. I don't. I'm sorry. Okay, this is another conversation too. I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't have cheddar cheese?
We do, but
No, they do have cheddar cheese. No,
we
they do
do,
have
but
cheddar.
I'm just the halloumi. You have to show me a picture or something. I mean, what looks
Yeah.
saw a picture where you showed me, Alex, but I need to know more like the package. What is it like? I thought
Here's a clue.
it was a stick, and you just go.
It's white in color as well. It's really light colored. Yeah. Before you cook it, obviously you can fry it and make it brown, but it's almost white. So
Okay.
they call it. I think they call it. It can be a little bit squeaky. So if you when you eat it, you can feel your teeth squeaking a little bit. It's got that kind of
Yeah,
texture.
it's a bit
So you
like,
agree, Jodi?
yeah, like but it's nice. But
Okay.
I don't want to get this wrong. It's a bit like a rubber, like a school rubber, like an eraser that you use. But imagine one of those rubbers that tastes nice. So like, don't eat your stationery. It's like a nice tasting rubber. Like, don't go eating a rubber.
Oh my God.
But yeah, halloumi. Oh my gosh, like halloumi, not a rubber,
Wow.
but tastes
Okay.
a bit
I
like a
we
rubber.
apologize. Miss Jody's just Alex and I were like, we didn't say it that way, but
No, but I
The
mean,
funny
you
thing
did
is,
ask.
she's not wrong. So it's like,
Yeah, yeah. Other people will be like, it is a bit like a rubber. So
mm,
yeah.
mm.
Okay. Next time I will. Well, I have to see some packet or something. What looks like.
Can you not order it on Amazon or something and get
No,
it
it
shipped?
doesn't come to the States.
Mad.
I don't know. I want to now look. I now want to look for a picture
Maybe
of
I could be
halloumi
wrong,
first.
but
No, no, no. Oh, no, I'm not pulling you up on that. I'm actually looking for a picture of halloumi in the packet,
I was just curious.
just
Okay,
because
here we
you've
go.
got me so interested now.
Halloumi in a
Um,
packet. Drum roll. Come on, Jody.
In the States, I will order it. I will
oh.
try it out if it,
Yeah. I tell you what, if I
Well, it's
knew I was
not
coming anywhere
cheap.
near,
It's not cheap, that one. That's not really the best picture of it. Hold on, sorry. Um,
if I'm ever coming anywhere near Texas or something, I'm going to smuggle halloumi in my bag.
Yes, and
okay.
let me know, and I will come to your film set or something.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, Alex, I'm here. Where is
yeah.
this delicious halloumi?
And we will have a barbecue with halloumi.
With
So
halloumi for you.
Okay,
Um, oh, my phone's
definitely.
not. It's not happening, is it? So,
no,
however, it.
okay.
Oh, is it
It's
happening?
part of the mystery, isn't it, Jody? Part of the
Yeah, it's
mystery.
part of the mystery.
The halloumi
Oh,
mystery.
but you can also get halloumi fries, and that would just blow your world.
We don't have that here.
You really need
Come
that.
on.
Uh, I can't believe when you asked about halloumi, why didn't we talk about halloumi fries? So you get halloumi fries, so it's kind of like chips, but halloumi, and you get chili jam normally given with you, and then you dunk the chip, but the halloumi fry
Oh
in
my
the chili
god.
jam, and then yummy yummy halloumi in your
Sweet.
tummy.
Mm,
Wow, definitely have to try it out. I definitely will.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I can't wait
So,
for it. Go ahead, Alex. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, so you need to come over to England. Go to buy some halloumi, fry it up, take it to Stonehenge, the big stone circle, and then it'll just blow your mind, that whole thing.
And
Wow.
visit Avery Stone Circle at the same time because yeah, do that as well.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah.
I will
When
do
Avery
that.
Stone Circle, I get confused.
Definitely do that. Well, thank you for coming on my show.
Oh, thank you for having us. It's been a
Yeah, thank
pleasure.
you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
you're always
Well,
welcome back
lovely to talk to
on
you.
my show. And Jody, I think we found each other on Instagram, and I just reached out to Jody and finally have her on my show. And I see all the backgrounds she's been working on, film, and it's just amazing. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure to be on the show. And yeah, if people can follow our TV series, our pilot TV series on
mhm.
Instagram, then that would be great. We're Asmodeus _ series. And yeah, we'd really, really appreciate it. It's a TV crime drama series, and yeah, we'd love any support that we can get. So thank you.
You're very
Thanks for having us
welcome.
on.
Thank you, and can't wait to have you back, Alex and Jody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It looks like it's late for your time. It's 9:41, right?
Yeah. What time is
Yeah.
it there? What time is it there?
It's only 3 p.m.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's snowing.
It's still snowing.
Go and enjoy the snow.
Yes. All right, thank you, and I can't wait to have you back.
Yeah.
Mary,
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
having us.
You're very welcome.
Thank
Talk to
you.
you
Take
soon.
care.
All right,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.